Never put your work family before your real family. And work family does not exist. It's not a real thing. Very toxic. Never neglect your loved ones or your children and put your employer first, because it will be one of the biggest mistakes you ever make and regret will catch up with you. And in today's video, I have created another poem which is going to paint the picture of so many people's lives and what they get wrong when it comes to working a job and obsessing about chasing job titles. Now, I just want to say I've written the poem and had it created based on a father's point of view, but it's the same respect if you are a mother as a parent. So it will refer to dad, but of course you can reflect this in the eyes of a mother as well. They called it a work family, a place where you'd belong, a team that stood beside you, a bond that would stay strong. So you bought into the promise, you gave them all your best, you wore the badge with pride each day and pushed yourself past rest. You clocked in early every morning before the sun would rise, yet never stopped to notice the sadness in small eyes. The kids were sat at breakfast, still rubbing sleep away, but your mind was on the meeting that was waiting in your day. Your partner tried to tell you about something that had been said, but an email lit your phone screen up and stole your focus instead. It's only work, you told yourself. It'll take a minute more. But 1 minute became 10 years, and your family kept the score. Your child would ask you softly, "Daddy, will you play?" But your thoughts were filled with the targets and deadlines due that day. You heard the question clearly, yet somehow couldn't stay, because the title was coming always pulled you far away. General manager? The words rang out loud within your mind, more powerful than the voice of a child who simply wanted time, yet never got the choice. The mornings felt chaotic, toys scattered on the floor, school bags by the doorway, shoes piled by the door. The noise would drive you crazy, the madness made you run. You'd leave the house an hour early before the day had begun. Yet one day you'd give everything, your house, your car, your pay, to hear that little chaos for just one more short day. Christmas was approaching, the school play had arrived, a memory your child would keep for all their future life. But overtime was offered and promotions dangled near, golden handcuffs tightening with every passing year. You told yourself you'd make it up, you'd be there next time round, while your child's eyes scanned every row, searching through the crowd. An empty chair remembers things long after people leave, and children learn far quicker than adults choose to believe. The pressure started building, the targets growing tall. You carried work back home with you, though home got none at all. The stress sat on your shoulders, the anxiety in your chest. You snapped at those who love you most, whilst giving strangers your best. Your partner saw it happening, but you never spoke aloud. You fought battles for a company, while your family stood outside the crowd. Then came the holiday abroad, blue skies and ocean views. The very trip you'd promised them would finally heal the wounds. The kids were laughing in the pool, calling out your name, but your work phone started ringing and everything just changed. It was your manager calling, the promotion still in sight, the carrot hanging just ahead, always out of reach despite. So while your children waited, you answered every call, trading memories for meetings beside the hotel pool. The next promotion finally came. Congratulations. LinkedIn celebrated, automated messages appeared. Hundreds of people you'd never met applauded you what you'd achieved, but nobody congratulated the moments you had missed, the bedtime stories sacrificed, the tiny hands not kissed. The company took more of you, more energy, more time, while your family slowly slipped away one moment at a time. A brand new car sat shining, parked proudly at your work, leather seats, polished wheels, a symbol of your worth. But your children never cared about the badge upon the grille. They only wanted present parents, not another finance bill. The madness of all of it was this. You bought yourself a present to impress people who didn't care, yet struggled to give your children the gift of simply being there. Evenings became stranger. Your partner sat beside you, speaking words you couldn't hear, because your manager's voice lived rent-free inside your head all year. Targets, metrics, performance, next quarter, results. The language of your prison hidden underneath success. Your child wanted the park, a football in the sun, a bike ride down the pathway, simple things, just fun. But time had already been given, and energy had been spent, to masters who would replace you the moment your usefulness went. We'll travel when the kids are older. We'll do it after one more promotion. We'll have more time later. The lie sounded different each year, yet somehow stayed the same. Then came the hospital phone call. Your child was there with your partner. Nothing life-threatening, they said, but deep down they hoped this once you'd choose them instead. Outside the meeting room, your manager stared your way, making it painfully obvious you were needed there today. Will they be okay, you asked? Not because you didn't care, but because the answer determined whether you'd actually be there. Yes, don't worry, came the reply, though it wasn't what they meant, because they knew if they said otherwise, you'd resent the interruption instead. Years passed, 17 of them, 4 promotions, countless sacrifices. Then one morning, you were called inside. AI changed the structure. New management had arrived. Budgets had shifted. Targets had slipped. Or perhaps one complaint, one mistake, one bad month, one new manager who simply didn't like you. Whatever the reason, the result was the same. Redundant. Thank you for your service. Return your laptop. Return your phone. Your access has been removed. Your WhatsApp groups disappeared. Your inbox went silent. The family that promised loyalty forgot your name by Friday. All that remained was a card with a handful of signatures and the words, all the best. The drive home was quiet. 17 years. Gone. You thought loyalty was a two-way street. You discovered it was a one-way road. You sat in silence thinking about every birthday, every Christmas play, every holiday phone call, every bedtime missed. You opened the front door. You needed your family. You needed the comfort of your partner, the smile of your babies, the unconditional love that only children can give. But the house was quiet. No toys, no noise, no laughter, no chaos, no little voices asking you to play. Your children weren't children anymore. They had grown, adapted, moved forward, built lives that no longer required your presence. The moments you'd promised yourself you would enjoy one day had already happened and ended. The promotion got its time, the company got its loyalty, the managers got their targets, the meetings got their attendance. But childhood? Childhood waited for nobody. And as you stood alone in the silence you once escaped from, you finally understood. The greatest promotion in life was never general manager. It was mum. It was dad. And unlike every title before it, that one was never meant to be sacrificed. So there we go. That was a poem I had constructed from notes I've been taking over the last couple of weeks. My God, doesn't that just paint the picture of so many lives that people are living and they don't realise that until it's too late? And I see this come into the comments section all the time, to my DMs, to my emails of people who are late 40s, 50s, 60s, even in their 70s, who want a second go, but they can't because it's done. Time's over. This is where we've got it all wrong. It's not about the big house. It's not about the fancy car. It's not about the job title. It's not about the Rolex. It's not about the designer clothing. No one cares. It's about loved ones and living life how you want to with the people that you care about. That is what it's about. It's not about looking at people on social media and wanting their lives. It's not about living in a state of comparison, seeking external validation to know that maybe you're doing okay. It's not about plastering titles everywhere on social media and getting a buzz and a dopamine hit from when people say, oh, what'd you do? It really, well, I say this all the time, we're just here for such a blip. And I do feel very, very blessed that the position that I'm in now, the age that I am, the knowledge that I have, and what I see, again, coming through social media, is it just confirms that everything I'm talking about is true. And I'm trying to give you the heads up that your happiness, now look, I know I talk about entrepreneurship and, finances and escaping the 9 to 5, but that all has the North Star of freedom, contentment, choice, happiness, and living life on your terms. That's all it's about. That none of it is about you've got to be the most successful person and make the most money. It is simply about being able to take a step back and go, we're going to live life. Because you don't know what's around the corner. So I hope that poem helped. If you liked it, like I said on my previous poem, I'm definitely going to be doing more of them, because I think by me creating the notes, putting all the information together and then creating a poem and then telling it as I do, it just hits home hard. It paints a real picture of so many lives that people are living, and it can be hard to hear that because people go, that's my life. I leave my house early to go into work. And, it might be stressful at home and the kids are screaming and, you're getting stressed out, but one day that noise will be gone. I shared a video, didn't I, recently on my YouTube shorts of my son playing in the garden, and that was like 6 months ago. I'm not going to get many of those moments where I stand on my back door and I look out and my son's playing with toys. I'm going to stand there and I'm going to watch it and I'm going to cherish it. I'm not in a job. I can see my son do that. I have the time. You know, as parents, we can stand on the back doorstep together and enjoy what's in front of us. Anyway, I hope that helped. If you did like this video, please do like and subscribe. Also, if you are trying to build a life by design, feel free to check out the link in the description, which is called Exitnine.ai. We are already changing lives and it is just, it's truly amazing. So do go check it out. Until next time, let me know what you liked about the video in the comments section and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.